us a chance to remember Gail, specific to 9 Mile Run. I worked with Gail a lot for many years, so did Brenda. I'd love to give her a chance to say something too, because she was much more close with Gail. But I reached out to Sharon and just tried to set this up, and I think it's great that everybody's here. It's a beautiful day. I know Gail's probably looking down at us, or she's with us in some sort of way, but Gail was a big part of this organization, Upstream Pittsburgh, 9 Mile Run Watershed as it used to be. She raised a lot of money for us, and we wouldn't be where we are today without her. But more than that, the folks that work with her had really just such a positive sort of relationship with her. Gail was such a vibrant just personality and unique person. She was very authentic, and we're planting an eastern redbud today here, a young tree that'll grow quickly, that our plant specialist over here picked out. But it's because that tree, when it flowers, it's a bright color, just like Gail's personality. So I'm really happy that everyone's here to be able to see this, and in the future, if you're here, you can walk by and think about Gail.
Sure. When Mike proposed this idea, I thought it was a really good idea, because Gail said so many times how much she enjoyed working with our organization, because she had always been interested in environmental issues, but had never had a chance to be involved on a close basis with it. And one thing in particular that I think she really enjoyed was when we did our watershed forest master plan, and she just kept saying, I'm learning so much about trees. I never knew all this stuff. So it seems really fitting to plant a tree in her honor. She was, for me, a joy to work with, and so knowledgeable not only about fundraising, but every aspect of the challenges of a small nonprofit. She had been there and done that, and had always good advice. Restored by the Army Corps of Engineers. I think it was finished in 2006. It was finished in 2006. Yeah, multi-year effort. But right behind there is the biggest created wetland that was part of the restoration, and it's a great site for bird watching. Bird watching from Pittsburgh always come down here early in the morning. So if you ever just want to come down and see how the tree's doing, you'll probably see some good birds there too.
Anybody else feels moved to say anything, we could plant the tree. If anybody wants to be involved in planting the tree, they're welcome. Otherwise, Keith's willing to plant the tree. So yeah.
About 9 Mile Run and Brenda actually all the time. I heard all the stories, so I was the sounding board, the sister. So, but she loved grant writing. She loved working for your cause. She didn't know a lot about it in the beginning, but the more she learned, she just really loved working for that cause. And that's who she was anyway.
Yeah.
She was always at a nonprofit, and she was always looking out for the underdog, and she was always marching, and she was always, she'd say to me, I'm going to Washington, I'm going on a march, I'm going to the Women's March, I'm going to I'd be like, is this safe? I'm in Kansas City, and I'm like, where exactly are you going? What are you doing now? And no, it's fine. We're taking buses. We're doing this. We're doing that. She was always doing something. And then politically, she was out there canvassing and knocking on doors. And even that, I said, are you doing this with someone, or are you just knocking on doors by yourself? No, I'm usually with somebody. And I said, usually, okay. Because in Kansas City, we had an incident where somebody was canvassing and then got killed, right? There was something that happened. They went to somebody's house that they had a gun and weren't happy. And I'm like, are you sure this is safe? I kept, what are you doing? out there being Gail, doing her thing, and yeah, that's what she did. I miss her tremendously every day.
Reasons, and we always knew when Gail was there because she'd turn all the lights on, and then we'd be like, "Whoa, okay, Gail's here!" Like, you know, it was like Gail. So that was Gail, and she just was, yeah, she was a wonderful person, and I'm so sad that she's not with us anymore. But I feel very, very blessed that I did have her in my life, and I have the opportunity to have her light shine on me just a little bit. So thank you, Gail. Thank you for making this possible here today, and I'm so glad that I can meet you and yeah, learn more about Gail. So, my name's Rose, by the way.
Learned from Gail. I adored that she would always express her opinion, and she often gave me the courage to open my mouth. So I'm going to do it one more time. Seems an odd poem to read at a planting of a sapling, but this one's called When Great Trees Fall. But there's a cycle to everything, right? Oh, that helped. When Great Trees Fall by Maya Angelou. When great trees fall, rocks on distant hills shudder, lions hunker down in tall grasses, and even elephants lumber after safety. When great trees fall in forests, small things recoil into silence, their senses eroded beyond fear. When great souls die, the air around us becomes light and rare and sterile. We breathe briefly, our eyes briefly see with a hurtful clarity. Our memory, suddenly sharpened, examines, gnaws on kind words unsaid, promised walks never taken. Great souls die, and our reality, bound to them, takes leave of us. Our souls, dependent upon their nurture, they now shrink. Why is it? Our minds, formed and informed by their radiance, fall away. We're not so much maddened as reduced to the unutterable ignorance of dark caves. And when great souls die, after a period, peace blooms, slowly and always irregularly. Spaces fill with a kind of soothing, electric vibration. Our senses, restored, never to be the same, they whisper to us. They whisper, they existed. They existed. We can be and be better, for they existed.